Hey, by the seat of our pants, it's the Draw or Die podcast, live from beautiful Scottsdale, Pennsylvania.
Other people think it's beautiful.
Right. So live from YouTube and beautiful Scottsdale, Pennsylvania. I'm here with Allie Monroe, my wonderful wife and business partner, let's say, my padre. And so Draw or Die is our Draw or Die company is our club where we talk about all things pertaining to artist life, work, business, fun, and we're going to talk about a lot of cool things tonight. I literally just got the show notes done right before this, and our cats were clawing at the door. And yeah, it's just, it's quite a busy thing sometimes. Look, I think there's a cat right beside Alicia there. She's got her little black cat co-host there, Lucky, the three-legged cat. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to recap a couple of the topics we're going to go over in this episode. Recap the fear of AI art. We've got a weekly update about this AI art topic almost every week now. A sneak peek behind the business side of running Draw or Die. I thought a couple funny things, well, not really that funny things, kind of happened. Reality check about running a merch brand out of this and how much money we're actually making or losing. I'm going to let Alicia kind of pull up the actual numbers so you can see. And then we'll check in on the weekly drawing challenge. That's the challenge that happens inside the weekly free newsletter. This week it was Bruce Lee. And then at the end, we'll probably stick around and I might try to draw up probably a pretty bad Bruce Lee live because I'm not really loosened up to draw tonight, but I'm going to try my best. The agenda tonight is that we're going to get right into it. Before we start that, I just want to remind everybody that's listening, the Draw or Die Club is to help artists stay encouraged and keep drawing every day. There's a lot of artists that just stop drawing, and a pencil stays at rest, and a pencil in motion stays in motion. So I'm always encouraging you to draw something every day, even when you don't feel like it. Just like I don't feel like it right now, but I'm going to try my best to draw Bruce Lee in a minute without any, reference pulled up or anything like that. So we're going to do that live together later on. And for those that don't know what the Draw or Die Club is, the links are in the description. That's drawordie.club to join the newsletter. And then we have drawordie.co, that's C-O, where we have a lot of cool merch to motivate you, buttons, hats here, and T-shirts and things like that, and some more cool stuff coming down the pipe. So make sure you check that out. That's the link in the description. So kicking it off a little bit, we're still a small club. So if you're digging the vibe and you're out there listening, there's a lot of people that were asking about last week. We weren't able to do a show last week because of Thanksgiving, and I just kind of took the week off. I didn't want to do too much on Black Friday and just kind of jam a podcast out. We just kind of relaxed and took our time last week. But for those out there that are actually digging this and want more, you carry the fire. That was in last week's email. So if you're digging this vibe, you need to share this vibe. We're not putting a whole lot of money into advertising this. It's all word of mouth. So be sure that you like and share and subscribe to the channel and just pass this along to other artists that might need it too. There's a lot of people out there that share the same vibe, I say. So do that. Share this club. And wow, this cat is really... I'm watching the cat now. Share this club, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate you listening in. So let's talk about the new YouTube schedule really quick. So Alicia and I got on a actual planning kick over the weekend where we're like, we got to get a better game plan. And so now, just real fast, on Wednesday night at 8 p.m., there will be the or no, it's wait, hold on. I messed this up.
You're right.
No,
No, you didn't.
it's 7
Wednesday night.
7 p.m. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. There is a Wednesday warm-up drawing session. So I'll do some scribble challenges, and I'll mix it up a little bit. Some nights I might just be drawing some hands, but the idea is that it's a half an hour of drawing power to just kind of get you motivated. It's after my day job work, so I'm just trying to get you kind of motivated to draw that night with your own project. So for the folks on the east, West Coast, that's pretty early for you, 4 p.m. And out in the out here in the East at 7 p.m. So, get yourself a little something to drink, sit down, do some warm-up drawing, and work for a couple hours on your own projects at night. Make sure you're kind of investing in yourself. And that's Wednesday night. So Thursday nights, just like this at 8 p.m., we're still going to do the Draw or Die Live video podcast. And this is kind of just like the opinion-based thing where we'll go through some of the news. We'll do some, raw conversation, maybe have some guests on and interviews and things like that here in the future. And then not this week, but starting next week for sure, on Fridays, there will be a regular video of some kind coming out on the YouTube channel for artists. So that could be something like the next week's video was going to be this Friday's video, but we decided to hold it. I got it done today. I just didn't want to rush it. We want to get a little bit of ahead. There's a video for how you can set up a full digital art setup for under $400. We even got it down to like under $200. So that's next Friday's video. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel here. Don't miss that video. It's pretty cool. Something we put together, and I think we're just going to start doing some cool, like helpful videos like that that can help people save some money, and also the encouragement videos and stuff like that as well too, and maybe some reviews, because I've been getting a lot of people asking me, what books do you suggest and what apps are you using and things like that. So we'll do some random videos like that on a Friday night. So tune in for that. Am I missing something, Alicia?
No, just the Wednesday warm-up isn't live. So I think it's important to know that you can do that anytime. So if you have a little bit of time on a lunch and you're not feeling super great at work and you want to move your pencil a little bit and feel a little better, there'll be a new one of those every week on Wednesday. But if you can't join it live, still pull that up and get the creative juices flowing.
Yeah, you can always watch that. You can always listen to these podcasts too in the interim. I know we have a couple listeners that comment tomorrow morning because they can't listen tonight, like Joe Dunn. They'll say, "Wow, it's really great to have this to listen to while I'm drawing on Friday morning." So you can't always be here live. That's totally fine. I totally understand. We just want to do this live just because we have the time to do it, and it's kind of lame to do pre-recorded stuff. We'd like to have the comments. I see Tom's in the chat there. Good evening, Tom. Well, maybe we'll talk. Actually, we should talk about Tom's challenge too. If you're in the newsletter, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, that's going to be a really busy schedule, and people might go, "Wow, that's insane. How are you doing all that?" And I think I might actually pull open the iPad and show you the schedule that we got for myself, what time I'm waking up, how I'm doing. I do a full day job as well. And I think maybe it's interesting for people to see. I'm just a highly motivated person. You might not be, and that's okay. You don't have to do 3 videos a week and comics and. But all right, cool. Let's talk about the news of the week. Just a really quick AI update. I'm going to share my screen here now. This topic just won't go away. The AI art topic is just every time I open up social media, there's some sort of thread going on. And this week, the big news was that ClipStudio Paint, which is a very well-known digital art program that a lot of people are using for their comics, they're going to have this experimental AI feature inside of their app this week. And I believe this is Twitter. Yeah, this is Twitter. And, the comments inside Twitter were kind of really popping off. Some people were like, yeah, I like it. Some people were scared of it. And the reason I'm bringing this up again, I think it's going to be an ongoing conversation for artists, really, is that I kind of have an evolving opinion about this. I went from, oh, it's a tool, to, oh, this is scary stuff, to, is this going to replace our jobs or whatever? But then back to like, it's a tool and but now I had a different feeling this week about it. And it was that, I think that deep down, human beings that are told that they don't want to, they're told they're not creative. I think that all human beings deep down want to be creative. And you might hear this from a lot of adults where they're like, I don't have a creative bone in my body. But when you were a kid, you did. And somewhere along the lines, you know how it goes. Somewhere along the lines, you're told, no, you got to go to work. That's stupid. These things that you want to do. And so what I'm noticing is the people that are getting really excited about AI art are the people that just wanted something to create, but they were told that they weren't good at painting or drawing or making things. And they just started to become cogs of the machine. So I'm wondering, now my perspective has shifted to like, what does this look like 20 years from now? And a kid or a young adult or even someone middle-aged that's like experimenting with this might actually be sparked to become to use their imagination more, and they feel like they're a collaborator. Does that make sense, Alicia? Like, they feel like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, we talk to people all the time that are kind of like, I'm not creative, but then when they touch something, they feel creative. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that for me, and maybe as an artist, this sounds ridiculous to you, but I thought that the people that became good artists kind of had a natural ability. I think everybody remembers that kid in like second grade that would draw like crazy above what a second grader should be able to draw. And I thought at that time, like, well, I can't do that, so that's not for me. I really didn't have any concept of being able to practice and get better at it. It just, for me, either you could or you could not. So maybe if I had had access to these types of tools, that would have given me something that I could make that felt good while I practiced and got better at it. So, I mean, yeah, I think that perhaps maybe it's a gateway drug.
That's a good way to put it, I guess.
I know now, trying to draw a little bit on the iPad and with the Apple Pencil, Procreate has a lot of interesting features that kind of allow me to manipulate the lines that I make. Whereas I don't really have the hand control to draw exactly what I want. I can pull and stretch that line to get it to where I want it. So if I draw something and I'm like, well, that head looks smushy, I can stretch it and make it what I want it to be. I think that people that learned to draw and practiced really diligently to have that hand control might not enjoy that other people can just hold their pencil point down a little longer and get that perfect circle. So I think you're always going to have people that don't like the innovation, but people that'll use the innovation. So it's like, I don't know.
I think it's more of a problem for artists than it is for people. I think that just this week at work, without going too deep into my day job work, but I was dealing with a big global agency, and I got on a call. Actually, I got an email first that said we're doing a big convention in London or something like that, and they're like setting up a booth, and they were like, we got this cool idea, but DJ's anti AI art, so we want to run it by you first. And I was like, whoa, I'm not anti, because they saw something I posted on LinkedIn. Again, you gotta watch what you're posting, I guess. I just the idea was that I was anti AI art, and I had to, in a video meeting, I had to basically tell them, no, it's not that I'm anti AI art. Actually, the thing that I posted was about how I think it's kind of scary that the softwares are actually just scanning digital libraries and mashing things together. So they're using your stuff to make their stuff, which then becomes proprietary. It's just a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I'm kind of a little worried about that. But
I think theft on the grounds that no one actually reads the terms of service is wrong. I think everyone can universally agree that that's wrong. But, you know, I was watching the little intro there to the program, and I think that we've seen a lot of comics that don't have any backgrounds. You know, and I think that those books would have been more interesting with backgrounds, and I don't think it would be an atrocity for someone to have used a program like that to create a background. That would have added to the quality of the book, and you know, nobody got paid to do a background on those books anyway, so it's not like anyone's losing out on work. So that's exciting to me, that people could use that to generate backgrounds and still do the foreground art.
And for those that don't know, I'm gonna generate one right now just because I think it's interesting to think about. But the idea for this, the idea that was pitched to me was pretty cool. It was like a convention booth where people would come in for their, like, you know, we sell T-shirts and things like that, and a merchandise at Spreadshop, and that normal people could walk into this booth that looks like a TARDIS and just say their shirt idea out loud. And then this thing that I have up here now, Dolly, would be able to auto-generate your shirt idea or your design idea, and then we would potentially email it to you. We couldn't print this live. So, like, I don't know, Alicia, give me a prompt here, and we're going to show people how if this works on the iPad. I don't know.
I would like to see a llama in a top hat.
In a top hat.
Riding a shooting star.
Oh. That's
oddly specific, but
that's oddly specific. Let's just generate it live, because I have no idea what we're going to get here. And it kind of goes through and it's thinking. And what it's doing right now is it's going through all the galleries online and stealing from artists. That's what this shit's doing right now. There you go.
Wait.
Look at that.
He has two heads. Why does it have two?
Well, wait.
It's a llama riding a llama?
It's a llama. It's like a fish.
Why is his head on a pike?
Yeah, I don't know.
The robots are not going to replace you. I'm very confident.
Oh, man. Oh, whoa, look at this one. This was not planned, but I was like, I wonder if this will work on my... Yeah, I mean, it's...
But, like, if you look at that star, I feel like somebody drew that. Not that one, but on the right.
This one. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like someone drew that and they stole it.
Yeah. It's like a mishmash of what's going on
drawn.
Here. This looks like a hamburger beamed out from the... I don't know. And, you know, another funny thing was I saw a post on... I wish I could have saved it. It was on Instagram, and somebody said, oh, here's AI art. And, like, they could tell, and you know how they could tell? Was that the hands were messed up. The people's hands were messed up. So, like, let's just try another one. I'm just... This is... And by the way, guys, this is Dolly. So if you type in Dolly... Oh, get there. Oh, Doll... DALL-E.
Why do they name everything Dolly? Wasn't the sheep, the cloned sheep, named Dolly?
I don't know. All right, let's just do one that's going to involve hands. Man waving his hands.
On fire.
Hands, and he's on fire. Again, this is not about self-harm. the drawer die company.
Oh God.
All right, let's see what. Maybe this is a new segment we mess around. But the hands were so weird in this art that people were right. Oh man. Oh boy.
Those are better hands.
These are better hands. It's learning. It's learning.
They know waving.
Okay.
How about a thumbs up?
Ooh. Okay. All right, we're gonna do one more. This isn't an AI podcast here.
What if you don't mention the hands specifically?
Man running down the man. What something that they would be doing with their hands. What would they be doing with their hands that we won't say?
A lumberjack puppet chopping wood.
A lumberjack puppet chopping wood. See, I mean, this could be kind of fun, but it is really sad. Because there are companies out there that are like, we don't need artists anymore. We got this crap,
They definitely need artists. This is going to be terrible.
Oh, there you go. They're wearing gloves.
We do puppet hands.
All right. Yeah, this is getting to be like, oh, what is happening?
But what's happening right there?
His hand is a piece of wood.
He's turning into wood.
He is the wood. All right. Yeah, but you could see how someone would put this crap in a blog article or something, So, yeah, I mean, we'll skip it. We'll skip out of here. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. But I liked the general idea of like a normal person that's not an artist walking into a booth and saying like, a llama riding a shooting star, and then it just appears magically, and then it's a merch for them, right? Because I thought that's what made me think like they're gonna feel like they helped create that piece, and they're gonna be like, I'm creative, and I feel like there's something there, even though it's cheap and it's BS. I just kind of feel like there is something that's a little bit magical about that could change somebody's perspective and go like, I'm going to get a sketchbook now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too optimistic with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's doom and gloom. Like, even the people that were buggy whip operators that were like, here come the cars, like they figured out something else to do, and they were still very creative with their stuff, right? I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the AI art topic of the week, and I wouldn't be surprised if these other drawing apps like Procreate and all that stuff, Photoshop, everybody's going to have this. Canva, they're all going to have an AI art component, but we just need to watch how it's finding. Because like, think about this. Now, I just thought of this live. Was if you're drawing in this app that you're paying a subscription for, and it's recording as you're drawing strokes and naming the files, are you giving away some kind of rights to what you're drawing live? And these are really complicated things. You might have opted into that crap in your terms of service. So like, that's a really detailed thing that I don't want to, no one's going to want to watch me go through the terms of service of different places, but maybe I'll do some research on this and actually kind of dig into how this works. Or maybe we should talk to like someone that works in one of these companies. I'll just reach out and find somebody and say like, how the heck is this working? Like, what's the trick here? Yeah. All right. Enough with this AI art stuff. Let's move on. We're 24 minutes in here. Yeah. So back to the promoting of the Draw or Die Club. Another funny thing that happened this week was that an old friend of mine, or an old colleague or compatriot, I don't even know what we call each other anymore. In comics, we follow each other for a while. I'm finding these different people that I've known for quite a while, and they're like, what is this Draw or Die thing? What is this now? And it's funny because it's like, I've been doing this since March now. And, every week it's something about Draw or Die, or for a while there, I was posting 3 times a day. And so to have like, it was at first, it's easy to take it personally. Like, wait, you don't even You don't even give a shit about what's going on in my life. You're not watching what I'm doing. But I know that it's the, it's the individual algorithms. Facebook isn't showing you things from certain friends, and neither is Instagram. And I totally understand that. And now that I understand that, again, I would stress to people like there's a lot of artists out there that don't know about this. But in this case, Seth Damoose, fantastic artist. If you search the hashtag too cartoony on Instagram, you're going to find Seth Damoose, because that's one of the things that you'll hear in the comic book world when you're submitting to a certain company or whatnot. They'll often send you a form letter, or someone will tell you that you're too cartoony. And in Seth's case, he's just a brilliant. His stuff is brilliant. I can't see why Marvel or DC or some big brand isn't picking him up. So it's a pretty amazing art. I'm actually going to look him up real quick while we're talking. But yeah, so I don't think that it's just nice to know that like when people like this guy sees. I'm going to go ahead and share his art right now. Whoop. How do I do that? Help me out. All right. So this is Seth Damoose. You can see, I mean, look at that. I think he posted the other day, he's like, I think I want to draw a Star Wars. And it's just like really cute, cartoony stuff. He always hashtags too cartoony. And yeah, I just know he's been around forever. We've all been around forever, it feels like. He was on a Rob Liefeld kick in October when we were doing Promptober. He was doing Robtober. So, he was like hiding his feet a lot there. Insider joke. Yeah, so that's Seth Damoose. He's awesome. Maybe he'll listen in on this now that I'm saying Seth Damoose. And when he searches it on YouTube, maybe he'll pop up. Maybe I'll tag him in the comments. But look at that. Look at how sweet that is. Very Alex Toth looking stuff. I love that. I love his art. So yeah, again, it was just somebody that was, like, wow, I really appreciate his art. And he's like, this is a really rad thing. And he bought like a shirt, or he bought it. What did he buy? Like hat or I don't know. He bought a shirt and buttons. And he was like, this is really cool. And I'm like, I can't believe you haven't seen me yammering about this. So maybe I need to yammer more. And that got me to ask Alicia, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should reach out to my old, like, people that I respect. And then what did you say? And by the way, I'm watching this cat behind you. It's
I think it's tricky because, every now and then we'll get a Facebook message that is from somebody that we haven't talked to in a long time. And it's basically asking us to share their Kickstarter with our whole mailing list and our Facebook friends. And I mean, when is the ask not spammy? Like, I don't think we should be spammy, but it's good to let people know what we're doing.
Yeah. When you said the Kickstarter thing, I really kind of felt it. Like, I was like, ooh, like, I'm not telling people like, hey, did you hear about Draw or Die? Would you sign up for it? I don't want to feel like that, because it's not like you're not paying anything for this unless you want to buy merch or something like that. That would be great. But I feel like I'm on the fence about doing that promotion wise. If you haven't heard from me in a while, then I'm reaching out to you. Because we have some old friends. Like, I saw Joe Dunn even said, like, you should have Brandon Carr on. And then I had a video meeting the other night with or the other day with Tom Brazelton. So a lot of these old webcomic guys that are brilliant cartoonists, and when they find out about this, they're like, wow, this would be cool. You should have Brandon on. And I'm like, I should have you on, Joe. But Joe puts his kids to sleep around this time on Thursday nights. So maybe we'll meet up with him again. But yeah, I mean, I will probably start doing, I don't know, what else can I do? I've posted 3 or 4 times a day on these social platforms. I don't want to, just pay for ads or something. But yeah, hopefully people will find it and it'll spread more. So I don't even really care that it's a small club, to be honest with you. We have like 1,700 something, almost 1,800 members now in the mailing list. and really good open rate. People are really digging the spirit of what we're doing here. And I think I want to change it more into the drawing club aspect of it, which is interesting to me. And that's why I added the Wednesday night warm up here on YouTube, just because we don't talk enough about tools and the really nerdy stuff that artists can really get into, to be just kind of supportive of each other. So there's that. So I don't know.
I think the regularity with the posting schedule probably will help.
Right.
So, did you want to show the work schedule?
My work schedule? Okay. Let's show my work schedule. Hey, look, it's Daniel Batal. He's in here. I learned everything from watching him. All right, my work schedule, because people ask me, how the heck am I doing everything? So this weekend we kind of we did this better, but I just sketched in the iPad. But so Monday morning, so the top of this list here is my 5 a.m. through 8 a.m., let's say. That's the top of this thing. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my Apple Pencil here and do this real fast. All right. Yeah, so this area up here is the 5 a.m. to 5 a.m., 7 p.m. I'm walking the dog. I'm feeding the animals. I usually get about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if I'm lucky, of drawing or something. So Monday mornings, this little icon means I'm either writing scripts or inking, because I can do inking and mundane work in the morning, but not really anything else, or writing scripts because my brain is fresh. Then I do the work day. And then at night, on Monday nights from 6 p.m. on until I fall asleep, I'm doing A-roll recording. If you don't know what A-roll is, that's like I'm recording myself doing the main scripts of what the heck I'm doing, right? And I'm going to try and record as much A-roll as possible for the different projects I'm working on. Then Tuesday morning again, there I am. I can ink some things. I could write some things, do my work day, just blank. I promise I'm actually doing work at work. 6 p.m. on Tuesday nights, I'm doing the editing night. So we're doing editing of the actual videos and promos. And I don't know what R&E is, Alicia. I don't remember, but we're doing R&E, recording and editing. That's what it is. Then on Wednesday morning again, so I'm up at 5 a.m., do the thing, whatever, usually around by 6 to 8. I'm able to bust out some inks or something like that. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. is the Wednesday warm-up. So that's the pre-recorded. What's that?
7?
7, yeah, 7 p.m. Wednesday.
But it's not live, so you can watch it anytime and get the same benefits.
Right. You can watch it anytime. It's just that it posts on Wednesday, okay? But it's a very similar format to this, but it's just a little more edited. So yeah, the Wednesday night video launches, we'll try to be in the chat live for that. In case anybody's in there, you can chat on there. And then Wednesday night, I'm working on my secret project, which I'm not going to talk about. It's just called DS. We'll just call it DS for now. Thursday morning, I'm supposed to work on the show notes for this podcast, but I don't until a half an hour before the show. So we're going to work on that. So Thursday morning, I should be working on the show notes. We did kind of put them in, actually. I'm just kidding around. Thursday night, here we are, 8 p.m. We're doing this live video podcast stream, and then that'll be it. We'll probably go watch Tulsa King or just chill out after this, you know. By the way, Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone on whatever channel it's on, Paramount, or I don't know what's on. But anyways, Tulsa King is a really good show, guys. You should watch that. Friday morning, there I am again. Back up again, drawing, whatever, inking. And then Friday nights will be, or sometime Friday, 1 p.m. or whatever time the YouTube magicians tell me to post, will be the regular video of the week. So next week it will be how to get a digital art setup for under $400. I think we even got it down to $200, to be honest with you. Saturday and Sunday we keep kind of open. So, and Alicia demanded that we have this 6-hour block. Explain this, Alicia. You can explain it better than I.
So you talk a lot about reclaiming time for yourself for your art because it's good for your health, it's good for your well-being, and you feel like you're dying inside if you don't get to draw every day.
It sounds
And I
so
think
dramatic.
I think that's really important, but it's also important to have family time and for me to feel like I'm not intruding upon your time by wanting some of it. So if we think about the way that we live and the way that we do things on the weekends, we're generally never gone for a whole day. There's rarely any time that we leave at 9 o'clock in the morning and we don't come home until 9 o'clock at night. So there's always a way that we can find you a meaningful chunk of time, roughly 6 hours, to work on these things because these are really important to you. And this way, I know because I'm always worried about encroaching on the time. I know what I have to work with, and it's flexible so that if I want to do a brunch or we want to go to a movie in the evening, that you're being respectful of our time together and I'm being respectful of your side project time. So that was kind of the thought there.
Right. Because as an artist, if you're married, you want to stay married. So,
sometimes you do videos and it's just like,
yeah.
oh, if your spouse isn't supportive, like just
Oh, I do the video? Yeah, like I'm like, just get a divorce, guys.
Yeah, just get it. I mean, I don't think you put that in the video, but I think there's a way to do both.
Right.
So this is the way we're gonna do both.
Yeah, and so on Saturdays I'll do a schedule check. I usually write the newsletter. I got to write the newsletter a little sooner than that, but lately I've been doing the newsletter on Saturday mornings because I'm fresh. I'm up with coffee. I don't have to worry about work or anything like that. And yeah, I'm writing the newsletter then, and then scheduling it out for the rest of the week. And then we have the daily drawing prompts too. By the way, daily drawing prompts are on the draworDie.club. I schedule those out for the week too, so that those come every morning at 5 a.m. Keep you motivated. So that's what I'm doing Saturday, and so I'd say Saturday and Sunday are kind of open session of those 6-hour blocks, and then I'm doing scripts for the A-roll on Sunday. Now I might have more scripts. I have way more scripts than I need right now, actually, but I'll probably just finalize those scripts out, and then if I won't do scripting all day, I do want to do some drawing on Sundays, but it's there, Oh yeah, actually, I do have that 3 hours of DS time. That's the special secret project I'm working on. So that's kind of the schedule. I mean, it seems nuts, and we still watch stuff. Like we still did things. Like we still went places last weekend, and like we still have a life. That's kind of the nice balance. But Monday through Friday, that's the work week, and you got to take it kind of seriously. So, and Alicia's helping me out now too with the scheduling, and she's here and talking to you guys and helping me manage the business. That's a good segue into the next part, where we'll talk about we have a Shopify at draworDie.club. I'm going to go ahead and unshare this screen. We have a Shopify set up right now because we were just testing things. We've got some print on demand merch there. We've got some other stuff that we're fulfilling ourselves, like the hats and the buttons. But maybe you want to show. I'll let you take it away, because this week the funny thing was she's sitting and doing the numbers, and she's like doing the breakdown, because as an artist I don't think about this. She'll talk about that in a second, but she's like, we only made 89 cents or something on a hoodie sale. And I'm like, what the heck? That doesn't seem right. So I'll let her take it away. Take it away, Alicia. Break it down.
So I don't think that the plan was ever to get rich off of hoodies. None of the merch is actually here except for the hats and the buttons. Those we ordered in bulk. So I put a hoodie in the shop. It's fall. It's cold weather. Of course, you want to have a hoodie. I wanted a hoodie. So put them in the shop, did all the things that I thought needed done to set it up. And then when you sell something, if you're going to start a print on demand merchandise line of some sort for your art or for your brand, for whatever, you set it all up and they take money out of your bank account when they fulfill an item, and then they send you a separate payment for the money that you got from your customer. So they're two separate transactions, and if you don't really look at it, you might not notice that your customer paid $51.98 and you paid they paid you that, and you paid the supplier $51.09, making your net profit 89 cents. Which if you're moving 100,000 hoodies, I guess that would be great. But when you sell two, it doesn't really make it very worthwhile. And then on the items that I ship from the house here, we probably have about $1 in packaging, making sure that the shipping that Shopify was charging is actually what it costs me to mail that package. So I spent some time with it this week and figured out that our supplier charges us sales tax, but we did not have sales tax enabled for the customer side. And that's why we only made 89 cents on a hoodie. But then if you think about, what do we want to sell a hoodie for? If we pass that $4 tax along, now our hoodies cost $55. And I think that's ridiculous. I know you said people charge $70 for hoodies, but you could buy a decent coat for $70. So right now I'm thinking we'll probably stick to like t-shirts and hats and things that we can do. I just can't get the margins where I want them.
Yeah, and we're such a small, we have such a small group that I'm not even really worried about the merch. But it's just funny to go, well, this is something that we should share because, and we know that people do make money with this, but we're somehow doing this wrong. And I've been at this for a long time. I used to make more money with merch doing this. So it just feels like then. And
you can't do it all. So I can only ask you so many annoying questions about merch. Like you need to make the videos and do the drawing and do the voiceovers. I can't do those things. But I can make a spreadsheet like nobody's business. It's just taking the time to sit down with it. So I guess from an educational perspective, if you're watching this, just be mindful that when you set up merchandising, there are overhead fees that you might not be taking into consideration, like processing fees. We use Shopify. There's going to be a fee on every sale. If you're shipping things for yourself, you need to buy boxes. And if the supplier is charging you sales tax, you do need to find a way to pass that along to the customer, or else, you might end up even losing money on a product. So I think the value in it is a cautionary tale of, you do have to pay attention to these little details or have somebody to do that for you.
Yeah. And it's just something we're doing on the side too. It's not our main objective. We just had people ask for merch, so that's why we put that up. I would like to move more into stickers and smaller items that don't take as much stuff. Maybe we are going to do some sketchbooks, and we're sourcing better quality stuff because I'm very peculiar about,
Yeah, that's the other thing that I would say. I think that it's really fun. Like the hats are really fun. And, we found some patch suppliers that can do like the PVC type patches, like that leather patch. And I think having things that are cool that we want, things that we'd like to own, I think selling that feels better somehow.
We did a $25 boosted ad on Instagram. So we sold some hats and it was fine. It covered itself. But you should buy a hoodie because it looks rad and you can wear it and tell other people about the Draw or Die Club. That's fine.
Yeah, I think
they're quality things. So
the point in talking about it is, it is a nice way to monetize your art. is to put it on apparel. But maybe simplify. Don't do a ton of things. Just do a couple things so that you can really analyze, what's going out and what the costs are.
Yeah. All right, enough talking about merch. Anyways, guys, we'll do updates on this business side of things because this is not really, I mean, yes, it's a business, but it's not. It's mostly a mission. And yeah, we'd like to cover some of our costs, but no big deal. No big deal. But I think it would be kind of a neat teaching thing to show artists like, well, this is where we're starting. This is what we're doing. We're doing this small merch out of our house right now and with some print on demand suppliers, but mostly out of our house. And then I've got some other artists I want to really talk to and maybe get on to, like Chubblegum, if you look up Chubblegum on TikTok or Instagram, you'll find him. He's got a sticker club and he's rad, and he's not too far from our house. He's like probably an hour and a half drive from here. So I'd really like to go check out his operation and maybe like do like a behind the scenes, like how the heck he quit his day job and he's selling like all these crazy stickers. So he's quite an inspiring person that I found on TikTok, and we messaged back and forth a little bit. So maybe we'll make that happen. He's really awesome dude. All right. Next segment. This is kind of a fun one. Well, fun to a certain degree, I guess. Yeah, Tom says artists need to learn the business side of it too, for sure. One of the things we talk about a lot is the fun of drawing and the therapy of drawing and stuff like that, because I've been on the business side of it. But, there comes a point where you're like, I would like to try to make a go of this. So if we can kind of show you a little bit about that, that'd be great. Or maybe we learn from you too. If you guys have advice, send us some emails and say like, guys, you're doing it wrong. This is how you're supposed to do it. And I'm sure we'll figure it out. Yeah. So let me try to add this to the stream. So this week's drawing challenge was Bruce was like water. That's in the Draw or Die newsletter that comes out on Sunday. So now I've changed the suggested prompt, because usually it's a daily prompt. You can draw it if you want to. And we thought, like, should we not call it a challenge because we don't want to pressure people into doing a challenge? But I think people like challenges. They like the word challenge, but I don't want it to be pressure on anybody. Any artist is supposed to be fun. But the reason that I chose that Bruce was like water was, number one, Sunday would have been Bruce Lee's birthday. Number two, Bruce Lee is a pretty rad human being. He was. And he's known for saying, be like water and all that stuff. And I used to say that. I think I wrote it on my old, college age DJ wall or something. I used to draw all over my walls. I was pretty known for saying that, I think, back then, back in the day. Anyways, the funny thing about that, the ironic thing was that doctors now believe that Bruce Lee may have died from drinking too much water. And it's actually a thing. And I was reading this article, and it's so weird how science can catch up, because people were like, did he die from an overdose? Did he take a pill and was hooked on drugs or painkillers or something like that and had a weird reaction? And no one ever knew. I thought that it was kind of, I thought it was an overdose situation, like an accidental overdose situation. But they actually say that, oh, look, Domino's bets on electric vehicles for delivery. Anyways, what's the name of the word here? I'm going to try and say it. There it is. Oh boy, should I try and say this word out loud, Alicia? Because you can say it.
It's hyponatremia.
Hyponatremia
means you don't have enough salt in your blood.
Yeah. By the way, Alicia had a medical background, so she can tell us all about that. But yeah, that he drank too much water, I guess, and that could have been the cause of he had a headache that day, and that's just crazy to me, because I was such a Bruce Lee fan. I used to watch Enter the Dragon every year on my birthday, and I haven't done that for many years, but it was one of the crazy things I did in my youth. But yeah, there's a whole article here about that, and that was the drawing prompt for the week. So we had a couple club members do the actual prompt, and I want to encourage more people to draw the daily or the weekly drawing prompt that's free in the weekly newsletter at drawordie.club. This week it was Bruce Lee. You're gonna have to wait till Sunday, so make sure you're on the Draw or Die Club newsletter. Link in the description. drawordie.club. But this week it was Bruce Lee, pretty much. So here we have. Is this Andre? Is this? Oh, I lost the real name. But this is New Waver 74 on Instagram. So he did a nice little like hand motion thing. It's a good flow there. And then we have what did I do? Oh, here we go. And again, this is to show you that you don't have to do like a full-on crazy finished art piece. This is just for inspiration. So here we have Jared at Jared5 or JARR5D on Instagram. You can see a nice little sketch that he did here. And he's got the claw marks from the Enter the Dragon. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Yeah, who said that picture of Bruce Lee looked weird? Yeah, that was definitely like a wax or a toy. Here's a Bruce Lee toy. Yes, wow, my iPad just did something weird, guys. Look at that. All right. Sweet. So yeah, that was the drawing prompt of the week, and now I'm gonna try my best to just sketch out. Whoops, I dropped my Apple Pencil. I'm doing that a lot lately. I'm gonna try my best to maybe just sketch out a little Bruce Lee here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some side-by-side reference. And again, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really feeling like drawing right now. I've been editing videos all day. But I got some Bruce Lee reference here. I could have totally gamified this and did a sketch like beforehand and didn't not do this live. So if you're not wanting to watch me draw an actual Bruce Lee out, you can split now, but before you go, make sure you like and subscribe the channel and here on YouTube. And the links in the description for the Draw or Die Club and the Draw or Die Company are in the link in the description. And I'm going to get into, and I like that one. That's from Enter the Dragon. After I don't know if you guys watched the Enter the Dragon. Alicia, have you ever seen Enter the Dragon?
I have not.
We're going to change that on my birthday. Yeah, this is after the hand guy clawed him a bunch in the mirror room. He was in like a weird mirror room, and like he's like trying to get the guy. And he's punching the mirror things, and he's not hitting the bad guy. And every time he would punch the wrong thing, the guy would swipe him with his claws. As far as I remember it.
Were they like his fingernails, or were they like a?
Nah, he had got like a claw thing, like a glove or something. I think it's been a few years. Yeah. And you know what? I got a funny story too. While I'm talking about. We're just gonna do this live. We're just gonna have some fun here. Because I can't remember the name of the actor's name, but we're gonna do it right now. Enter the Dragon. And as soon as he comes up. Enter the Dragon. I'm going to tell you a story about this fella, John Saxon. This man, right here. All right, well, won't let me get this actor. He's pretty well known. He's passed away now, but he was a pretty well known actor in the 70s and 80s. He's pretty standard actor. He's got a nice facial structure too. Interesting to draw, maybe. Maybe that'll be next week's drawing prompt is John Saxon. Let me see here. I've never done this live with doing reference on my iPad with drawing live, so bear with me here. So anyways, as I'm talking, and I'm going to just go with this. I'm just going to look at that and kind of just go with that because his hair, you know, the claw marks, is pretty classic deal. So, anyways, my dad lived in California there for a little bit when he was younger in the 60s and got into some craziness. Um, and he told me, I met that. I was watching Enter the Dragon once, and he's like, I met that guy. And I'm like, Bruce Lee? And he's like, no. And and he said, that guy, John Saxon. And I said, what? He goes, yeah, I didn't meet him, but I saw him once, and he was in traffic, and he was driving this convertible Corvette down like Hollywood Boulevard. And I said, oh, well, that was cool. Did you say something to him? And he goes, no, the guy was an a-hole. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, that guy was a real a-hole. And I was like, what do you mean? And I guess my dad was on a motorcycle, and the guy like pulled out in front of him or something. And my dad was very polite. He was a very polite biker. And I'm going to go zoom in a little bit so you can see it. And yeah, the whole story is that John Saxon flipped off my dad and drove away on his. My dad was like going to be like fighting this guy, and he didn't know who he was. But John Saxon actually knows martial arts and stuff like that, so it would have been like pretty much a brawler versus this actor that knows martial arts. My dad probably would have lost that fight, but he's like, yeah, the guy flipped me off and then sped away, and I tried to catch up with him on my bike, and yeah, I just was like, nah, it's not worth it. And I'm like, yeah, you would have got your ass kicked by the movie star. So, but yeah, my dad lived out there for a while. He's got a couple crazy stories about, when you find out people lived in California, you usually ask them like, who did you know, like out there, or who was the most famous person you met? And he's got a couple stories about that. This is the part where I'll just like talk while I'll just openly have memories while I'm sketching here, because I got to pay attention while I'm sketching. By the way, what I'm doing now is I don't know if anybody else does this, but I just like to do like a little tiny I don't know what you call this, guys. It's sort of like composition of what I'm looking at, kind of. This is lacking some energy because I'm talking, but I'll make it work. And then what I'll do is I'll zoom in, or I'll actually blow that up. Whoops, nope. That's not good. Is that the uniform? Uniform, come on. Blow that up so that my brush size goes well. Yeah, so when my dad moved out to California, he was looking for work, and he became a roofer. There's a lot of roofing work in California. All right, Tom, stick figure thumbnail. All right. Yeah, I don't know what I call this. I call it kind of like a composition sketch or something like that. Just to kind of get the, once you fade that out, you can kind of see what I'm doing there. Like, I don't know. For non-artists, you can kind of see what I'm doing. Hopefully the feed is not pixelated right now. Is it looking all right, Alicia?
It's fine.
All right. I see the little Wi-Fi symbol thing came up. I don't understand that. We've been struggling with the internet issue. But anyways, yeah. I'll jump around here and talk a little bit. There was roofing jobs in California, and I kind of know this now too, because like the way that it connects to other stories I heard about dudes that were in California out then was my barber. He did roofing in California too, Huntington Beach, and so there was a lot of roofing to do in Palm Springs. That's where my dad was. We had some family out there he went to go stay with. And his one big story that he used to tell was that he roofed Frank Sinatra's house in Palm Springs. It sounds crazy, but I totally believe it. I don't think he would lie. My dad is not like a liar. And he wasn't like gloating about it either. People would just ask him and be like, hey, remember that time you did that thing? And then he would just reluctantly tell the story. But yeah, I guess him and his friend were roofing Frank Sinatra's house. They didn't know. And Frank Sinatra came out with a 6-pack of beer and gave them beer. And they drank a beer with Frank Sinatra in Palm Springs, California. I'm going to cough right now. Yeah, probably Cathedral City, actually, if you know the area well. But, all right. Oh, yeah, he's got those crazy eyes, right? But he's like, whoa. Let's try and get this. Alicia, have you ever drawn Bruce Lee?
I have not.
He looks really surprised here, though. He's like, whoa. We're going to get it. It looks like a surprised cartoony face right now. So a lot of artists will ditch their work right now when they're like, oh, this does not look like, this looks like Scott Baio or something. Like you might be like, if this was a piece of paper right now, you might actually crumble that up and throw that across the room. But you got to keep working with it. So once you put the eyebrows on that, I think it'll start to look a little bit more like Bruce Lee. I mean, I'm not going to get a like. I'm just going to try to capture a likeness, But once we add that, those eyebrows, get in there. You see what I mean? Let's get in there. Probably be even better with some ink. Actually, we can. I picked something that's probably going to be another half an hour drawing here, so maybe this one will go long. Yeah, Tom says reminds me of the roofing sequence from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Was there a roofing sequence at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? What was the roofing sequence?
It's in the beginning, isn't it?
I don't remember that. I like that movie, but I don't remember a roofing thing. But I definitely thought about my dad during that movie. No spoilers, but like Bruce Lee, they kind of made him like a jerk in that movie. Which was funny. Oh, you know who else is in that movie? Is Charles Manson. And my dad has a Charles Manson story too. That he met Charles Manson in another, like it wasn't in California. It was back in, when you say like famous people from the 60s and 70s that you met, Dad. He's like, I met Charles Manson once, and that guy was a weirdo. And this is before he was like culty Manson. He was trying to become a musician, and he was dealing drugs out of the back of this bar that my dad happened to be at, doing whatever he was doing at the time. And he had to go through, and he said he waded through these rubber spiders that were hanging from the ceiling everywhere, bugs. So he had to go through one of those beaded curtain doors to get to where Charles Manson was. And that's where you got your, whatever you were buying from Charles Manson in the 60s. I don't know. Probably acid or something. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever melted their brain back then. And he said, yeah, it was just creepy. It was like rubber spiders. And my dad didn't like that. He doesn't like nonsense. Alicia, you met my dad this summer. I mean, you knew my dad before too, but could you imagine my dad dealing with that crap?
No, probably not. No.
Walk, like, hey Don, come in here and go through this these rubber spiders. He'd be like, what? Every time I heard that story, I'd be like, what in the world? All right, this is looking pretty good. All right, it's not bad for not wanting to draw today, really. Let's see, kind of cheekbones, and then we're gonna put that classic little scar on him. Yeah, Han had kind of like Wolverine little claws, Alicia. He had like little Mr. Han.
I don't think I've ever watched any movies in that genre at all.
Well, this is the only one worth watching. This is the only one that you'll watch with me. Maybe this and Seven Samurai. Those are the two movies I'd watch on my birthday every year for like the longest time. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I think the VCR tape broke.
Yeah. It's been a minute then.
It's been a minute, yeah. Well, no, I got it on Amazon. I got Enter the Dragon on Amazon. And when it's on TV, like when it's on like TBS or something, I usually stop and keep it on. You probably just don't recognize that that's what's happening.
I can't remember the last time I saw you watch television that wasn't Netflix or Morning Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Like just TV that's on TV?
Well, that's usually where you'll see this. Like if you're panning around, we have YouTube TV. So like we just kind of, if you see it, like it's usually on some dumb like holiday or something like that. They'll be like, Enter the Dragon. And I'll put it on for a minute. Sadly, I think I don't remember anymore, but I think I used to know it. It was one of those movies that I knew line by line. I'm not sure why. There's a Your Mama cover somewhere. Do you know that? Do you know that one? All right. Let's look it up real quick. Now we're just hanging out. This is all this has become now. You can tell me when we got to quit.
I don't know, because I think most podcasts are like this.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Mama comic. I'm just going to type Your Mama comic. Image search. Boom. Oh, there it is. I saw it. So there's my old. Oh man, how do I get there? I know this is Eric from Comic Strip Fan. This is Eric from Hawaii. And he used to buy I'm just going to go ahead and open this wide. He used to reach out to me when I did web comics back in the day. And he would say, I want to buy the first strip that you did from every comic that you ever did. So this was the first Your Mama strip that came out. It was Tony the Tiger doing some stuff or something. And then there was the Predator. Maybe this was Example of Your Mama Dailies by DJ Kaufman from 2003. And this was the first strip that he created for the Your Mama strip online. And he owns the original of it. And then we did a Kill Bill Gemis. That was for Soda. No, this one was for, I'm almost positive this was for James Patrick wrote this. And it was called Kill Bill Gemis. And this got some buzz because Bill Gemis got fired from Marvel Comics right at this week or something like this. And that's Mark Waid right there. Maybe this was like Kill Mark Waid. I don't remember. But that's Joe Quesada. That's, gosh. Oh, man. Well, that's Brian Bendis dressed as Charlie Brown. An eye patch. It's supposed to be like the Kill Bill scene where they're looking down at the bride. And he's in Mark Waid's in the thing. I forgot that. I wonder if Mark Waid saw this and that's why he was kind of weird with me at the one convention. So, are you the guy that drew that? But he was a hero in that. So, and there's David Blaine inside of a box, smelling when he was inside the box. Yeah. Anyways, he would get all of the original strips for me. There's strips where we were fighting against Scott Kurtz from PvP, and we actually kidnap him and take him into. There was a whole storyline about that. Kurtz's crash. No wonder Scott Kurtz didn't like me. We really pressured it in there when we did that. This is a really good. Oh boy, I wasn't expecting to look at this. I like the Greedo, Save Greedo. This was like Greedo's children, where he's in a hospital because Han Solo shot him, and now it's Greedo's family trying to raise money, and it was Save Greedo. We sold stickers for that. I sold about 300 stickers of Save Greedo back then. Anyways, I'm looking for the. That's my first. That's the first piece of Your Mama merch for a shirt. I forget what. I think I might have used Spreadshirt for that back then. Spreadshirt back then.
It looks good.
It did look good. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the cover. That's one of the reasons I drew that, because I would watch it every birthday. I'm like, oh, that's a classic, classic cover. Did he buy 2 of those? He did. Oh, no, that's a poster. All right, great. Oh, and look, he actually twisted my arm. I'm like, listen, the original art isn't done. It's like I did most of it in digitally. And he's like, I want the original that you have. And I showed it to him, and he paid for it. So yeah, somewhere this is living in Hawaii on the Kauai. There's the Brick of Silence. Just a walk down memory lane from my old webcomics days. I would draw on the box that went. So I still have that same spirit where when you're getting something from me in the mail, I'm usually drawing something on it. I used to do the caricatures online back then. Look at that. There's Saul Colt. You see him? Yeah. Yeah, I drew a lot of caricatures and stuff too back then. Anyways, back to Bruce Lee here. Not looking too bad. I'm not going to draw the whole body tonight. But we'll, that's the wrong. That's Bud Murphy's. Don't worry about that. Oh, all right. Got a little off track there. That's what I'm going to do when I'm off script.
Why don't you give him his other peck?
I'm going to give him his other peck, and we'll get out of here. I got to find the. You know what? I don't even need a reference anymore. Forget it. We got this. I can do this now. Right. And then I think he had like a claw on his, thing too. And then we'll draw like crazy AI fingers on him here. That's the AI, like, draw me Bruce Lee. Whoa. All right. Yeah.
I think AI and I have a lot in common.
Yeah.
That's what it would look like if I tried to draw hands.
I better erase those. Well, no, I'm just going to leave them because it's funny. Yeah. It's pretty tone. Yeah. All right. We'll get there. I'm not gonna mess around too much longer on here. So we've been going an hour and 14 minutes, and yeah, I'm not like Ethan Van Sciver in a lot of ways. Let's say, I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but yeah, a controversial dude. Comicsgate, Alicia. Comicsgate.
I'm aware. I do know about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get involved in any of that.
Is that still happening?
I don't know. Probably. Comicsgate. People got too much time on their hands. That's what I think.
9 hours. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, they got a lot, they're probably not married. That would be, I'm not going to hot trash, Although maybe that would bring attention, Alicia. Maybe I should start some controversy.
What?
Just be anti-comic, just
you
start.
That part of your career already.
Yeah.
We're not doing controversy anymore.
Everybody's free to their own opinion. I don't have to agree. I don't really care about any of that. I'd rather people focus on the good things rather than, bad stuff. By the way, I'm using my old school inker brush. See what it does there? It kind of makes it nice. I love that. I could just do that all night. It's kind of designed to like feel like ink flowing out of a brush pen. I like that brush. I don't usually use it much. I usually use the smoother brush, but yeah. Brush packs available at the link in the description. Yeah, draw or die gate. What would that be, Tom? It would be like, are you miserable, artist? I want you to be happy. This is very controversial. Yeah. Alicia, I really appreciate that Lucky the black cat has totally been your co-pilot over there tonight.
She's been busy. She's been on the desk and behind me, and
why don't tell them the story about Lucky the black cat?
So I stole this cat.
Yeah.
It started coming around our house, and she only has 3 paws. She has 4 legs, but one of them doesn't have a foot. And it was almost Halloween, and she's black, so I lured her into the house, and DJ wanted me to go ask the neighbors if she belonged to anyone, but I feel like if they let her live outside with ear mites and tapeworm and missing a foot, that they don't deserve her. So I kept her, and then I found out who owned her, and I tried to give her back.
You thought she was a kitten too.
Yeah, she's 16. Oh. Her owner says she was 16 years old, so I gave her back.
Did you say she was missing a foot?
Yeah, I said that twice.
Okay.
So I tried to give her back, but now she keeps escaping her owner's house and running into our house every time we open the door. So I guess she's my cat now.
Our neighbor might be watching this.
Our neighbor is not watching you draw.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's our cat now.
I mean,
because if she wants it back,
once a week I walk her back to her owner's house, and every day that it's warm outside, I let her out, and I think like maybe she'll go home, but she just keeps coming back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and our other cat doesn't really like that cat too much. Let's say they kind of fight a little bit, territorial stuff, but that's Lucky the cat.
She's 16 and she has no tolerance for Peach.
Yeah.
And her, because Peach is only 1, so.
Right.
Yeah, she's an old lady.
Yeah. So that, I get really attached to animals. Alicia can tell you that. I'm kind of like the animal whisperer. And it's weird. Is it just my imagination, Alicia, or do I actually communicate with the animals?
I mean, everyone can communicate with animals. Just talk to them.
Not like Aquaman. I'm just like, I'll be like, someone's watching me, and then I'll look across the room, and there's the cat staring at me, and I'll be like, what do you want? And I know exactly what that cat wants.
It's because you give them so many treats.
Right. They're not fat or anything, so,
They're trying to be.
All right. Does that look like Bruce Lee, kind of?
I like it better when you zoom out and I can see his hands.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do that. So, does this look like Bruce Lee? Well, what about now? AI art. Yeah. Tom says I got a Dr. Dolittle vibe going on. You will notice that usually there's a cat on the back of my chair. I would wish it was a parrot, but it's not. It's a cat. That's what's up. Well, yeah, that's
all right.
I kind of want to take a screenshot of this. I want to take a picture of this, of the for the socials, for the social meds of the AI hands Bruce Lee. I think that's pretty good. All right, so I think we're going to leave it here. Kind of go do something else tonight, but make sure that you are subscribed to the Draw or Die Club, drawordie.club. We have merch at drawordie.co, which we won't talk about. We don't make any money on it.
We didn't talk about Tom's 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I put that on the newsletter too, but Tom has a 12 days of Christmas that starts. You could start it today if you wanted to. I'm going to start mine on the 12th, I think, because I want to kind of count down to Christmas, I think, or the 11th. But he has a funny version of his list, and I could have pulled it up too. Should have done that. As a matter of fact, Tom, I think that people said that they couldn't access your Instagram. So I think if you're not friends with Tom, you can't see your stuff. So I think when I linked to your thing, so I'll do it. I'll remind people again this week. But yeah, there's a 12 Days of Christmas. It's a funny version and the classic version. And Tom also said that you can make your own. But it's kind of a fun little mini drawing challenge for December, and I'm gonna attempt to do it with everything else that I got going on. But it's oh wait, just wiped you out there, Alicia. Great. Yeah, so definitely check that out. I'll repost that again in this week's newsletter. Just a reminder. See if anybody can. That did look like Brandon Lee a little bit, but yeah, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, make sure that you're. What else? What else we got? That's it.
Yeah, I think next Thursday, I want to talk a little bit about the Jack Daniels versus Bad Spaniel review of parody law case that's going to the Supreme Court. And if anybody else has anything interesting, art-wise, maybe send it our way. You can shoot us an email, Allie@drawordie.club.com or DJ@drawordie.club.com. Anything that you think we should talk about next week.
Oh, I'm not going to do the outro music. It messes up our audio. StreamYard hasn't figured that out. Yeah, no, that's interesting that the Supreme Court, is it Supreme Court case?
Yep.
Jack Daniels? Yeah. That could be interesting for parody law, right? We'll talk about it next week. Yeah. When's that happening? Is that happening now?
Not sure, but I just started reading about it, so I'll know more by next week.
Okay.
Maybe get an idea of when that's going to come out.
Awesome. Let's put that in the notes for next week, and we will see you guys soon. Make sure, again, if you're not in the club, drawordie.club. That's free. Join that. That's where all the action happens. And we will see you guys real soon. Plenty more to come on this here YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys soon. This is the outro music now. Do 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 do.